56 years ago, an entire delegation for Filipino Boy Scouts died in a plane crash on their way to represent the country in the 11th World Jamboree in Marathon, Greece. To commemorate this tragic but heroic event, a monument was built in Quezon City. Would the residents of the Quezon City remember this moment in history?
Siguro, ang ibig sabihin yan, ang ibig sabihin
Sige po.
yan, ano, simbolo sa
Opo.
pagka, hindi ko lang alam kung hero siya o ano, pero maganda siguro ang palakad niya dito. Siguro sa Murato.
Opo.
Okay.
Opo.
Yun
Okay.
lang po ang alam ko.
Okay.
Boy Scout Circle yan, yung mga nag-attend nata ng ano yan, Jamboree sa ibang bansa. Nag-crash yung aeroplano nila, patay sila lahat. Namatay lahat yan, yung mga Boy Scout na yan. Tapos yung, hindi ko lang, kasi may nakalagay naman dyan, ako tagal ko na rito, hindi ko alam sa lugar na yan. Hindi ko nababa. Ayan, may mga story kasi yan sila dyan eh. Pero yung story ng ano na yan, ng Boy Scout na patay sila lahat. Tapos yung bantayong na si Murato yan, naging unang mayor ng Quezon City nung tapos ng tigmaan, pangalawang tigmaan. Nakapuan siya ni Manuel Quezon. Siya naging unang ng Quezon City, parang up si Murato. Pero yung na yan, yung mga Boy Scout na yan, yung mga pangalan dito ng mga, di ba mga scout pangalan ng mga street dito, dyan pinangalan sa kanila. Alam may Scout Gandia, Scout Ralios, ganyan. Yun mga pangalan ng Boy Scout na yan, sa kanila pangalan mo yan. Yung mga mga Boy Scout na sa kanila nakapangalan. Yun yung story ng mga bantayong yung nakapaikot sa likod ng circle na yan. Yan yung mga story nila dyan. Sa kanila nakapangalan yung mga scout dito sa Quezon City. Kung ano nito, area ng Tomas Maroto at saka mga scout dito sa kanila nakapangalan. Doon yung may 11 Jamboree doon, di ba? Yun sa kanila. Yun yung story niya. Nung nag-attend sila ng 11 Jamboree sa India, nahulog yung nag-crash ng aeroplano nila. Patay sila lahat. Yun yung story niya. Okay. Pero yung
Scout yun na pumunta sila sa ibang bansa na biglang na-crash tapos namatay sila lahat. Oh, di na nakabalik. Oh, kaya yun sila. Kaya pinangalan sa kanila yung lahat ng scout dyan. Oh, umpisa yung Scout Ralios. Marami din naman eh, meron pa rin sa kabila eh. Pero dito ang pinakamarami. Na scout. Kasi ano naman, yun na yung si Tomas Murato. Yun yung pinapangalan sa kanya yung ano dyan eh. Siguro siya, lupa niya yan. Kasi pinangalan sa kanya yung ano na yan, mahabang ano na yan, kalsada na yan. Tomas Murato. Yun lang po.
Scouting was brought to the Philippines by the Americans in 1910. They established the Philippine Council of the Boy Scouts of America in 1923 to launch a nationwide scouting movement here. However, it was only in 1936 when the BSP was established via Commonwealth Act 111, signed by then President Manuel Quezon on the 31st of October 1936. This law states that the purpose of the BSP shall be to promote, through organization and cooperation with other agencies, the ability of boys to do things for themselves and others, to train them in scoutcraft, and to teach them patriotism, courage, self-reliance, and kindred virtues, using the methods which are now in common use by Boy Scouts. Commonwealth Act 111 was amended in 1974 by Presidential Decree 460 and then in 1992 by Republic Act 7278. The main office of the BSP is in Ermita, Manila.
The Boy Scouts of the Philippines is an organization that recognizes the vital role of the Filipino youth in nation building. It helps mold boys and girls into socially conscious, morally educated, skill-tested, environmentally aware, and service-oriented citizens, and leaders of the country through the Scout Oath and Law. and the various scouting programs, projects, and activities in the local, regional, national, and international levels. The formation of the youth through the scouting movement is a potent and effective way to address the existing social issues caused by drugs and vices that corrupt many young individuals, especially boys. Scouting makes the youth active volunteers, community builders, disaster responders, and environmental warriors.
On July 28, 1963, the entire delegation of Filipino Boy Scouts perished with passengers and crew members of United Arab Airlines Flight 869 when the plane crashed into the Arabian Sea near India. The Egyptian airliner, a British-made Comet jetliner, was bound for Athens, Greece. The flight originated in Hong Kong and had stopped over in Bangkok, Thailand for refueling. The ill-fated plane carried 52 passengers and 8 crew members. Among the passengers were the 24 Filipino Boy Scouts and Scout officials who were to represent the country in the 11th World Jamboree in Marathon, Greece.
According to eyewitnesses, who were mainly fishermen from Mad Island off Bombay, India, the airliner plunged into the sea in one piece. Among the members of the Philippine scouting delegation, only 5 bodies were positively identified from the human remains that were recovered in the Bay of Bombay. It was believed that the plane crashed due to the loss of control during the turbulence it experienced in mid-air. But as no wreckage was salvaged, the report remained unconfirmed.
The BSP sent a third group to the World Jamboree. The group was composed of Nicasio Fernandez of the Far Eastern University, Luis Santiago of the Mapua Institute of Technology, and Guillermo Flores of San Beda College, which was also the school attended by Scouts Jose A. Delgado and Felix Fuentabella Jr.
The 11th World Scout Jamboree Memorial Rotunda, also known as the Boy Scout Circle, is a roundabout in Quezon City, Metro Manila, the Philippines, located at the intersection between Timog and Tomas Morato Avenues. It serves as the boundary between barangays South Triangle, Laging Handa, and Sacred Heart.
A monument stands in the middle of the roundabout, which commemorates the members of the ill-fated Philippine contingent to the 11th World Scout Jamboree. The monument consists of a circular pedestal with bronze statues positioned around the structure in the likenesses of the 24 members of the Philippine delegation.
In the wake of the tragedy, the Quezon City government decreed that 24 streets in the city, located between the old National Capitol complex and Diliman Creek, would be named after the fallen 24. The naming also influenced the naming of one of the barangays that were eventually established in the area, named after the motto of the Boy Scouts of the Philippines, Laging Handa, or Be Prepared. In 1988, President Corazon C. Aquino declared the 28th of July of every year as Scout Memorial Day.
During that time.
I have no relations. It's my wife who has relations to the Magbanwa. And the first cousin of my wife is married to a Magbanwa who was one time president of Siliman University. And he had a son who joined the scouting. And he was one of the delegates that went to Greece. Unfortunately, they did not make it to Greece. The whole Philippine Scout delegation, including their officers, did not make it to Greece. Or for that matter, all the passengers of that plane that crashed before reaching Greece. One of them is Magbanwa. He was identified by the uncle, who is a first cousin of the mother of Magbanwa, by a left-out piece of the brief, yung kanyang jockey. Yun lang ang was the only piece that was that they were able to identify that he also perished in the accident. First, scouting for me is a must in the curriculum. It is the first thing that should be offered in school. It starts with the Cub Scout, the younger ones, and then the Boy Scouting. That really starts discipline. The relevance of these people on the monument is that it has something to do with scouting. During those days, scouting was really a course, and it was a way of life as far as I'm concerned. And it is very relevant that the people of Quezon City should remember that incident. It is the first one in the world. There was no equal incident.
I wasn't around when it happened, but since we have relations, we have relatives rather, we have a relative who perished in that accident. I did hear stories while I was growing up. And scouting, like my father said, is really a very relevant subject, relevant activity that I think every Filipino should indulge in, should take part in. It teaches you a lot of things. So a lot of life lessons can be learned from scouting. And unfortunately, it's not a must these days. To the disadvantage of the younger people, because it teaches you a lot of life skills, practical wisdom that up to now I'm still applying. And it's a shame if it's not continued, because a lot of children will be deprived of that acquisition of that skill. At sayang talaga. Nakakahinayang na hindi nagiging kasama na basic education yung scouting. It teaches you so many things, not only life skills, but also appreciation of who you are, your identity as a Filipino. Of course, maraming nations ang members ng Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, no? But despite all of that, there is a unique trait in each and every one, and that is always recognized. You don't operate like pare-pareho kayong Boy Scouts, so dapat isa lang identity nyo. Hindi ganon. The uniqueness of each individual culture is recognized and given respect, I would say. Kaya importante yung sa 11th Jamboree na yon. It's very relevant because hindi naman siguro naging open yun to everybody, no? And since malaki yung scouting noon dito, malaking bagay na we had a good number of delegates who were sent to Greece. Unfortunately, they did not make it because of that.
It is important for the present and the next generation to know about this important piece of history, which includes the heroism of the 21st Scouts who died on a tragic day, gone too soon but always remembered.